All right.
Savage was in love with themselves. My dad did it as well. We chose to take a different route for the wealth. You couldn't judge us, you ain't feel what we feel. Feel like I'm walking through hell. I got a son, though I'm adapted to the pain. To try and make sure he's safe, and I gotta do the same.
Alright guys, you know what it is, it's Hoodtac, and before we get started cleaning, first thing we're going to do is clear our firearms. This has no mag in it. We're obviously still going to check our chamber. No bullet in there. I can see clear through the hole. That's what she said. There's never too many times that you can do that. Always clear your firearm, period, bro. Like, fortunately, I've never had a negligent discharge. It's not an accidental discharge, it's a negligent discharge. If your gun goes off, it's because of a fault of yours. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was like a factory defect or something. But if this gun goes off while you're cleaning it and there was a round in there, it's your fault. It's not an accident, it was negligence. There's a difference. So, yeah, we're clear here. Next, we're going to clear this one. Now, I personally know this one is loaded. I purposely left it loaded so I can give a better demonstration on that. So we're going to hit our mag release, drop our magazine out with our hollow points. We're going to put our mag all the way to the side. We don't want any active ammunition around me. There's not one in the head. When I carry, there's always one in the head, but there's not one in the head. We're clear. Okay. The next thing you can do is take off your accessories, which would be your lights, your weapon lights here. I'm just gonna leave them on because I'm not gonna do too much disassembly on here. It's just gonna be a disassembly of the slide, a basic disassembly. So this is the Polymer 80. It takes down the same as the Glock. Obviously, you have your two notches here. You bring back your slide a little bit, your notches, hold them down, let it go. And this is why you always have to clear your firearm before you do this, because you pull that trigger and that releases the slide. It's a little dirty in here, all caked up and shit, but that's because I, you know, hit the range. I try to hit the range at least once a month. Some people probably don't think that's enough. Obviously you want to hit the range as much as you can, but it's kind of expensive to be hitting the range all the time. So I try to get there at least once a month. You know, I do have a life outside of firearms, surprisingly. Next, we're going to take down the Glock, which is going to be the same way. As you see, I hit the slide back a little bit, hit my notches down, and now you're still holding those notches. Pull that trigger, and your slide will slide right off, just like that. So how about we do this? I'll put the slides to the side. We'll start with the frames. These are called the frames, the lower part of the firearm. We're gonna take our Q-tips. Yep, I love my Q-tips. I usually use CLP. That's just my choice. It stands for Clean, Lube, Protect. I usually spray it down, wipe it down, then give it a nice light coat on the end. It has everything you need in here. Cleaner, lubricant, pretty much all you need, bro, seriously. So we're gonna put our little tab in there. I'll put the other frame to the side. And now, since this is so easy to take off, I'm just gonna take it off. But this is how this Olight Valkyrie Mini 2 detaches. It has a little lever here, switch off, then you just push it, comes right off. Yeah, so usually what I do, because you don't want to saturate, this has carbon and stuff, but it's not like, you know, ridiculous. We're not going to saturate it. Spray our Q-tip. Now I just have this plastic table from Walmart and I put an old towel over it. That's what I like to use as like my gun cleaning table. So we're going to take our Q-tip, we're going to take our rails, wipe them down, get up in there, make sure you get in between the rails and the frame. As you can see, I already have some carbon coming off on there. Take my other side, spray it down. This is why I put a towel on the table, so I can be reckless, like tacos for breakfast, you know what I'm saying? Any part that has friction, and you know, we're gonna get up in there, clean that real good. Like I said, it's not caked up or anything. If it was really bad, I'd spray it down and let it soak on the side while I clean other things, but it's all that carbon. Now what you can do, you don't have to, but you can take a rag, get up in there, old washcloth. Like I said, you don't need to go crazy, bro. Wipe all that. You just want to make sure you're not catching like jagged edges on here, and threads and stuff are getting caught in there and disappearing, because it kind of defeats the purpose of cleaning this thing out. So now that this is clean to an extent, I'm gonna put that to the side, do my other one. I'm not gonna give it a coat yet. I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit, but we're gonna hit each end here. Look at that. Now the thing about cleaning guns, even if you don't take it to the range that often, you should still clean it every once in a while for two reasons, in my opinion. Reason one being, if you conceal carry it, it's sitting in your pocket, you're collecting dust and lint inside there. You don't know where that stuff's going. Could be going in the back where your firing pin housing and all that crap. And you don't want a bunch of stuff in there, you know. You want that clean and free of debris. So that's one reason you should clean it, even if you don't go to the range that often. The other reason is because after a while, this isn't grease. We're using thin coat of oil. After a while, it's gonna dry up, and then your gun's gonna be dry. And you don't want to be walking around with a dry gun. You don't want to be walking around with a wet gun, like saturated gun, but you don't want to be walking around with a dry gun either. So you have to go through there every once in a while and give it a fresh coat. We're going to take our guide rod out and guide rod spring. We're going to leave that assembled. Okay, we're not going to take that apart. Then we're going to take our barrel out. Now we have an empty slide. Well, somewhat empty. There's still internals in here. I've cleaned those not too long ago, so I'm not really gonna go into that. And you know, there's stuff in there, your firing pin and stuff. All that should be kept dry, actually. Don't worry about lubing that. But we're gonna put that there. Now with the barrel, just spray a little bit in there, just like that. And then we're gonna take our brush, our barrel brush, we're gonna go in there, just like that. Get any carbon out of there. Clean that up nice and good. You should be able to look through there and see like a mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I'm gonna wet some Q-tips again. Get up in here. You want to get in those rails. Like I said in my other video, you want anything that's going to be touching, any type of friction, you want that to be oiled. You don't want it soaking, dripping, but you want all that pretty oiled. Don't be scared, you know. It is what it is. Our barrel's pretty much done there. I usually leave this dry. You can put like a little bit of oil on it. Like I have a little bit of a squeak because this is a new guide rod. This is the P80 one. It works fine, but I'll put a little oil in it because it never really been oiled. We'll put that to the side. Oil our barrel up a little bit, because remember your barrel's having friction with the slide, you know. So we're gonna, you don't want it soaked, but put a little thin coat of oil on there. And now remember, we wiped this down, but we never put another coat of oil. So what we're gonna do is put another coat of oil on there, right on the rails. Wherever we have friction, our locking block, get that in there. And this should be a regular practice for you, you know. Maybe every couple weeks you sit down, you throw the game on or something, and the more you do this, you know, and not only is it good for cleaning the gun, but now you're having the opportunity to inspect your gun. You're having an opportunity to look at parts inside, make sure nothing's broken, make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be, you know, because there's times I clean a gun and look and see I had a broken ejector. And you know, I didn't even know that. And if I was to have to use my gun and it jams up on me, then what? So we're gonna take our barrel, hold your slide upside down like so. You're gonna put your barrel in there, and your barrel should sit just like that. Then we're gonna take our guide rod, put it in the hole right there, and then we're gonna go just like that. And now we have a clean gun, ready to go. Now, if you're ever nervous, you can do what's called the function test on your gun, which is you can take it back, slide lock back. All right, well, you can take it back, pull your trigger. All right, then you're gonna hold your trigger, let it go, trigger reset. All right, so we're good to go. Function test is good to go. I can put my light back on. Snaps that easy, and I can put this gun off to the side. Now we're gonna finish with our Glock 19 over here. We're gonna take our Gen 4 guide rod out. We're gonna take our OEM Gen 4 barrel out, and we're gonna take our slide, and we're gonna repeat the process that we just did. So we're gonna get up in there, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you clean that barrel nice and good. Like I said, you want to be able to look in there and see a mirror, you know. Wet that up. Get our rails in here. I cleaned these guns after I left the range not too long ago, so they weren't that dirty. But it was just a quick cleaning, and on top of that, I wanted to do this for the video just to help you guys out. Some of you got guns and you're afraid to even pull them out of the box. What did you buy a gun for if you're not going to even try to, you know, learn how to use it? So you want to take your, like I said, I leave this mostly dry, but some leftover oil just throw on there, just because it is metal and it's under tension and stuff. All right, we have our barrel here. Put that there. We can actually just put the slide assembly back together. You just push, it should snap just like that. Now we're going to hit up the inside of this just to make sure we're good. Make sure we're clean in there. Some people do less oil than this. Some people don't even oil all these things, but it's up to you. That's why it's good to get out and shoot your gun, so you can know what you need for your gun to perform, you know. So now we're gonna take this. All right, we're gonna do a function test real quick. All right, dry our hands. Good thing you keep this towel, take the dry part, and you know, any excess oil on there, you can wipe down your gun. You know what I'm saying? And you know, she's ready to roll. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd appreciate it if you go you know, like and subscribe to the channel, show me some love. I'll put out more videos in the future. Keep those guns clean and ready to roll.